Okay, guys, and action!
Martin Scorsese is widely considered to be one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. He's been directing movies since the 1960s and has a ton of classics under his belt. So we're going to check out what it is that makes Marty such an icon. We have to start by giving him special credit for his diversity. While he's mostly famous for his gangster epics, the guy has tackled just about every genre, from costume dramas to musicals, from documentaries to kids' movies.
I had this opportunity to make a film that, as my friends and my wife told me, so make a film that your daughter could see for once.
Also, he's made a bunch of religious movies like Silence, Kundun, and The Last Temptation of Christ. This shouldn't be very surprising, since Marty actually wanted to become a priest when he grew up.
The church has never left me, and I've never left it in that sense. Even though I'm a lapsed Catholic, I'm not a Catholic who's practicing Catholic, but I still think about it. I still think about my relationship to God, and the idea of the sacrament of the Mass, the Catholic attitude towards Jesus and God, the divinity of Jesus, and being fully human and fully divine in one entity, and all these incredible heresies over the past 2,000 years. And all of this just part of my life, you see.
Get your hands up! Hey!
Despite his successes in all sorts of genres, Scorsese will mostly be remembered for his gangster films, like Goodfellas, Casino, or The Wolf of Wall Street. Interestingly, such titles usually just show a part of the anti-hero protagonist's lives, but that's enough to keep viewers hooked for the entire duration.
Most of the films I made over the years, pretty much every film I made has had almost no plot. Stories, yes, but no plots.
On a more technical side of things, Martin's films often contain freeze frames, long tracking shots, usage of slow motion, songs by the Rolling Stones, and characters talking to themselves in the mirror. Also, his picks are almost never fully linear. The ending can happen at the start, in the middle, or in the final act. Furthermore, Marty not only likes to make cameos himself in his own films, he also had his parents pop up quite often when they were still alive. Here they are on the set of Goodfellas. But his love for his folks goes even further, as the director once made a documentary about them, which he sees as his best work to date.
I made a film on my mother and father, which was pretty interesting, called Italian-American, a documentary about, it's under an hour. And it was done in 1975, and that's the best one, I think, because it has a lot of life to it and real character, and taught me a lot about how to let actors, because they just took over the entire scene. There was no way to try to direct them in any way, and so I played with that, and then actually used that technique later on in Raging Bull and in all my other pictures.
This probably isn't very surprising, but the legendary filmmaker is a huge movie buff. He simply watches everything. Name the weirdest, most obscure French art house picture from the 1920s, and he's probably seen it. He then remembers scenes that made an impact on him and uses them for his own work.
It's not even remembering a shot. It's like looking at an Eisenstein or a Hong Kong film, and then somehow you put into a frame of mind. You put into a frame where you're receptive to accept, in your mind, editing structures, where you say the shot will begin from here to here, and we'll go to there, and then there'll be a cut. And the beginning of that shot will go from here all the way to there, and we'll land on the ground, etc. And then we begin the scene. And in this scene, it's a wide shot and a wide shot. It's that kind of thing, and I draw the shots or make the notes.
And we're on to Scorsese's frequent collaborators. When some actors work with him, it's just magical. Take Leonardo DiCaprio, for instance, who's been in Gangs of New York, The Aviator, and Shutter Island, amongst others. Although he was a fan of the director long before they collaborated.
And the first film that struck me, of course, was Taxi Driver. I'd never felt that emotionally betrayed by a character before. I was with Travis Bickle. I wanted to clean up the streets of New York. I thought there were detestable people out there, and all of a sudden he starts making a homemade assassination device, and I go, oh, wait a minute, oh, what's going on?
While Leo and Marty are close, nothing beats the friendship between the acclaimed director and Robert De Niro. From Mean Streets to Cape Fear to The Irishman, they've made a dozen movies and are lifelong pals. When the actor received a Lifetime Achievement Award from Scorsese at the 2018 Marrakesh Film Festival, he simply couldn't keep it dry.
We made our first film together, I think it was over 45 years ago. We just wrapped our most recent picture this year. One of the great blessings of my life is that we worked together near the beginnings of our careers, and we're still at it. And hopefully there'll be many more to come.
There's actually another person who's probably even more important to Martin's career than Leo and Bob, and that's Thelma Schoonmaker. She met him when they were both still in film school, and she's been his only editor ever since. Over the many decades that they've worked together, Thelma's even won 3 Best Film Editing Oscars for Raging Bull, The Aviator, and The Departed.
When he comes in, I always show him the film, the edit the way I think he would have wanted it. He deserves that. He's been thinking and dreaming of the film for much longer than I have worked on it. And then if I feel it needs a different approach, I show him 3 or 4 different versions of the scene. And he will always be open to a better idea. And that's wonderful about him.
It should be clear by now, Martin Scorsese was simply born to make movies. He's on par with fellow legends like Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock, and Stanley Kubrick, and has graced us with absolutely fantastic motion pictures.
Okay, that's a cut.